Ooh, I have a question for you. What is actually the work of an actor and performing artist? This is very important to understand, and I'm gonna get real with you in this video, so keep watching. Okay, so real talk. The work of an actor is more than auditioning, getting an agent, and going to class. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing 8 major things that actually make up the work of an actor. So please watch this video all the way through. I honestly think this is probably the most important topic that I can share with you, and I'm very excited. Ooh. If you are excited to watch this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified of my future videos coming out, which are coming out every single week. I'm Jennifer Pielak. I'm an actor, performing artist, and coach from Vancouver, Canada. It is a beautiful fall day here today, and I'm getting all cozy and warm, drinking tea in my brand new mug, which is from my friend Ange, who came to see my show on Friday. And she knows that I do something called a tea walk, and sometimes I post on Instagram about that. And if you ever want to do it and tag me, and also write hashtag tea walk. And all it is going for a walk for 5 minutes with an open mug of tea, because it's going to force you to slow down and just be mindful and notice the nature and the bugs and the birds and just take it all in. So I'm really excited, Ange, to be going on a tea walk with this. Yeah, so I love the work, and it's taken me about 10 years to really get a handle on these 8 things. So let's get to it. I'm gonna break it all down for you. The first one that I wanna talk about is self-care. And this might surprise you that this is the first one, but I'm actually putting it number 1 because I think this is number 1. As part of the actor's work. This means really, truly taking care of yourself. And that means your mind, your body, your spirit, looking into things like your sleep, eating and exercise, and making sure that you have healthy habits. I'm working on having a regular meditation practice, having a regular sleep schedule. I'm watching what I'm eating, and I make sure that I have some hobbies and that I do have a social life, that I'm going outside in nature, that I'm reading books that are other than actor books or personal development books. I'm consuming content that is leisurely. I'm also working on my self-regulation and delaying gratification. So that means like not picking up my phone all the time and just looking at it whenever I want. Because these are all things that impact your instrument. And as an actor and a performing artist, even if you are an artist in another modality, you are the thing that is the vessel for whatever is going to come out. And you really need to have that be operating at its highest level. So self-care is honestly, I think, the most important thing. And I've been focusing on that for the last 3 years especially. And I honestly have to credit that as like the number 1 reason why my work has improved so much as an actor. Number 2 is cultivating presence throughout the day. And for me, this means really having an awareness of my relationship with time. So that means I set a lot of intentions in the beginning of my day or even the night before as to what my plan is for the day. And then I also have lots of like check-in times where I stop and go, am I doing work that I feel like is actually going to move me forward, that's going to serve me in my life? Am I like wasting time? And also slowing down. So like, even in little things, like when I'm eating, I try to eat slower just to pay attention to what it tastes like, and rather than rushing from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. Why? Because presence is so important just in life, but also as an actor, fundamentally, the actors that are the best are the ones that know how to cultivate presence. And if you're practicing it regularly every single day, you are gonna just soar as a performer. So yeah, that's number 2. This, especially time management and planning your day and what work you're actually doing every day, this can't completely get done unless you do the next 6 things in terms of the work. So that's going to make a lot more sense when I get into them. Number 3 is to get clear on your artistic voice. And this is going deep. This is really asking yourself, why do I want to be a performer? Why do I want to be an actor? What kinds of characters do I want to play? What sort of people do I want to be working with? What kinds of projects do I want to be doing? Why do I want to be doing those things? I do think that there is a deeper reason why you feel called to be an actor or a performer, other than, yes, it's okay to want fame and money and validation and attention and that like crazy cool feeling on stage. But there is a deeper reason, and I think it's really important to get clear on what that deeper reason is, and also to really ask yourself, in what way do you want to be of service as a performer to the world? What way do you want to be making it a better place? How do you want to make audiences feel? Or how do you want to affect them? Do you want to make them think? Do you want to make them feel specific things? Like what is the reason why you're doing this? And getting super, super clear on that really can increase your inspiration and motivation to keep going, especially when times get tough. And it'll also help you really get clear on what to focus on day to day. Okay, number 4, and this one is a biggie, and this is to understand business and marketing and how that works as an actor and an artist. I like to look at business and marketing in 2 areas. The first one is in terms of the industry that you're in, or industries. So if you are in the TV film industry or the theater industry or comedy or improv or combination, it's really looking at them and understanding how they actually work and researching how they work and learning like the game of it, because there is a game to it. And learning how do you figure out how you can best serve that industry? What problems are there that you can solve? A very simple way of looking at it, as an example, is if you're in the TV film industry, it's looking at, if you're an actor, looking at like, okay, what shows shoot here? What characters are on those shows? And what type of roles could I most likely play? If I can learn how to advertise that I'm the best at that, then you're gonna be able to like fit those, solve those problems. So that's one way of like really getting clear on the business side of things in the industry. It's also about really, part of learning the game is understanding how your mindset fits into that. So it's learning a lot of how to depersonalize things. So getting no's and rejection after auditions really has nothing to do with you. And also it's about cultivating relationships and networking. So what does that look like? I think a lot of us feel like, oh, networking sounds so robotic, but it's actually being a person and being a human and being friendly to people in your community and slowly building relationships. So that's with casting directors, with directors, with other actors, because this is an industry of relationships. I would say probably every industry is. And the more people you know and the more you develop your know, like, and trust factor, the more success you're going to be seeing, guaranteed. The second area that I look for, or that I work on in terms of business and marketing, and this one, I almost feel like this one's even more important, but that's how you show up with your personal brand and your offerings as you. So personal branding, and I like to quote Kathleen Shannon from Braid Creative. She says, personal brand is basically blending who you are with what you do. And so I love it because personal branding is marketing yourself in terms of like sharing your personal brand, is allowing people to see a more 3-dimensional version of who you are and what you're about as an artist. I personally have the feeling like in the industry, it's a little more, the marketing yourself and the business side of things is a bit more specific, and you're like, this is the kind of problem specifically I know I can solve. But when it comes to your personal brand, you can open it up and be like, these are the big topics I care about. These are what my hobbies are. And this is the kind of personality I have. And these are the skills I'm really, really good at. And so that's where you can start to have a lot of fun and be creative and show how well-rounded you are as an artist. It's also about the business side of sharing your work is like actually sharing your gifts of knowledge, and making offerings. So offerings can look like creating your own show or producing a show or collaborating with some people that you really, really love and putting something up together. It can also mean teaching a class or serving your community in some way, maybe setting up group workshops or group jams. That's business. Knowing what kinds of actions that you can take, that overall, I think if you were to summarize it in terms of business and marketing, is the kinds of actions you can take that will increase people knowing who you are, people liking you, and people trusting you and seeing like the value in you and your work, and knowing that you are somebody that they can work with or rely on for X things. The more followers and fans you will have, the more of a community you'll start to feel, the bigger the network you're gonna build, and that is going to lead to more bookings. It's going to lead to more clients. It's going to lead to more partnerships and more sales, whatever it is that you decide to offer in your work as a performer. Number 5 part of the actor's work is managing your resources. I like to look at 3 major resources that I'm really focusing on managing right now. And number 1 is money. And I know this one can be a really big struggle for actors and artists, and something that we kind of like to avoid even looking at, but it is huge. It's a huge resource. We need it. And so it's looking at how much do you actually want? How much money do you actually want to be making? How much do you actually need? And how to track, how to invest, how to budget. It's so important. It's a part of the work. Another huge resource is time. So where are you spending your time? How do you want to be spending your time? How can you create even more time freedom so that you can be spending your time on the things that matter the most to you in your life? Because again, time is probably the most valuable resource. We don't know how much time we all have. We know time is finite, and let's make sure we're not wasting it. The third resource is energy. So this circles back to self-care, and it's all about asking yourself, how can I make sure that I keep myself energetically operating at my best? How can I make sure that I take care of myself so well that I can handle these huge roles that could come my way, so that I can handle the ups and downs of this crazy career we have, so that I can be available, emotionally available and physically available and spiritually available, mentally available. When you don't have a lot of energy, it totally impacts everything. Everything, your relationships, your work, your life. So energy is a massive, massive resource. Number 6, and this one is an obvious one, and that is to practice your craft and keep working on your skills as an actor. And this is always, always, always something that actors, performers, artists, you always are working on your skills and always continually developing and evolving in your work. I like to look at the craft as in a holistic way. So it is exploring multiple acting styles. For me right now, I'm working on physical theater, exploring like specifically Grotowski based physical theater and clowning. I'm doing a little bit of Meisner stuff and voice work and working on impulse and improv and how to blend all those things together. Auditioning skills, huge, because learning how to take your work and put it into an audition and deliver successful auditions. Those are skills to work. I also am working on developing a personal practice. So doing something every single day that's actually working my skills as a performer. Huge. I also like to look at the work in the craft as practicing presence and self-awareness work. And so I think meditation is huge for actors. Going to therapy, huge. Working on your physical fitness, so connecting to your body, getting outside, journaling, being self-reflective, learning how to unravel your old trauma patterns, reading personal development books, understanding how psychology works. All of that is really connected to understanding how to work as an actor. So huge. And then this last one is something that I've really been exploring in the last few months and actually a year. And I feel like this isn't talked about enough, and that is learning how to calm your nervous system. Because I think actors, we don't realize how much fear we're always facing because we kind of get used to it. But I also know we're very sensitive beings, and as are most people, but I think actors and performers and artists are in particular extra sensitive, and that our systems get overstimulated a lot, and sometimes we can be in high adrenaline, which can lead to like adrenal fatigue, it can lead to lots of stress, it can lead to burnout. And so learning techniques to help calm your vagus nerve and calm your nervous system, I think is a huge part of the actor's performance skills now. I've been exploring breath work, mind-body trauma release work, and just slowing down and doing activities that are slow and calming, and drinking warm, cozy teas. 7, and this one is so important, it is building your tribe. And what I mean by that is making connections and working with other people that have a similar interest, philosophy of art, and goals that you have. Finding people who are going to build you up and you're going to build them up. Surrounding yourself with people that make you feel good, that light you up. Letting go of people that might be holding you back or feel toxic. Finding audition buddies so that, like, one, you can save money and not continue to pay for coaching all the time, but also learning that, like, it takes a community of people for you to keep moving up. It's not just a lone wolf type of a deal you're in here. So if you're feeling like you're lone wolfing it a lot, really look into reaching out to more people and developing more connections with people. And it's scary to do, but it's so worth it. So worth it. So please keep looking for those people. It's worth it, and you will find them. Other things that I've been doing in the last couple of years is creating mastermind groups. So working with small groups of people that will really call me on my shit and help challenge me. Accountability groups, so helping me make sure that I actually follow through on things that I'm setting goals on, and also finding mentors. So you can be really direct and ask someone to be your mentor, or you can just be following people that you really, really admire and taking in any kind of wisdom that you think you can be getting from them. And you don't even have to know them, but just finding those people that really keep you inspired and help keep you motivated can make a world of a difference in your life as a performer. Number 8, final one, pals. And this is definitely part of being an actor and part of the work. And that is to have a life. Yeah. So I look at being an artist and an actor as part of identity. And I think one of the things that makes us very different as performers is that we're not going to work from 9 to 5 and then clocking in and clocking out and going home and not thinking about our work. That's not the way it works for us. It's because it's part of who we are. Being an artist is part of our identity, it's part of our life philosophy. We are trying to understand humanity and ourselves and the universe through our work. So we're not going to stop thinking about it. But one of the things that can happen is you can get so driven in it and want to just be performing all the time and working on this stuff all the time as a performer that you don't do anything else. And I have definitely been guilty of this, and it is something that I wish I learned earlier, which is to actually make sure I'm setting aside time to have life happen to me. And that means hanging out with my husband, hanging out with friends that aren't performers, having hobbies. Lately I've been doing pottery, actually, to just have a hobby that is not related to my work, that's just creativity for creativity's sake, to go on vacation, to see other places, to get interested in politics, to read things that have nothing to do with being a performer, to just do nothing. Sometimes just go and do nothing. All this is going to give you so much more depth in your work as well, because you're gonna be in reality. We live in pretend land. We live in like our minds so much, and in these imaginary places, which are so beautiful and wonderful, but at the same time, it's not real. And it's so important to remember what's real and to be a part of what's real. So yes, making sure you have a life is part of the actor's work. Okay, so those are the 8 things. I'm so curious to know. Please let me know in the comments which of these 8 you feel you most need to work on right now. I'm always reflecting on all of these 8 things, and there's often 1 or 2 that I'm like, oh, I haven't been paying attention to this as much, and then I put more energy there. So I'm really curious to know, which one are you wanting to work on the most? It's an ongoing, evolving process. You're gonna continue to learn more about all of these areas and keep developing all of these areas. But I think the more that you make sure you have attention in all of them, the more clear you're going to feel, the more direction you're gonna have, the more success you're gonna have, and the more joy and the more fulfillment you're gonna have as an actor. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. I really appreciate it. Also, I wanted to let you know that I have a free newsletter that I would love for you to join, my tribe of actors and performing artists and creatives who just want to be hearing more from me. It's content like in this video, except it's a bit more exclusive, and I share a little bit more about myself in there. So I would love you to join if you are really digging this video. Please, again, comment below, let me know which one you want to work on the most, or if you have any questions or any suggestions of videos that you'd like to see me do in the future. I would love to hear it. And yeah, have a great week.